the 2K Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA. We're joined by the legends, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the New Orleans Pelicans up against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, they struggled in this matchup last season. Only one win for them through 4 games. They'd like to make a statement tonight. You look at LaMarcus Aldridge and all that he's been able to do in his career. While he might not be the best power forward in the game, he's certainly top 3. What do you think, Kenny?
Well, on certain nights, he's the best. You know, he does things and has a skill set that's a nightmare matchup. A lot of guys can't do that. 2010 is just a regularity for him, but the way he gets it, you know, the true power forward of the golden era when they used to shoot on the baseline, that's him, and he does that.
You know, his favorite shot was the pick and pop around the free throw line area, but he's added a three-pointer to his game and now can step back, stretch out the defense. It's stretch 4 to what he is now.
Can you imagine if you had added a three-pointer to your game, Shaq?
I didn't need it, Ernie.
Can you imagine if you had added a three-pointer to your game?
Didn't need it, Ernie.
But can you imagine if you had?
Didn't need it, Ernie.
Is this going to be repeated?
Kenny, can you imagine if he had added that to his game?
He didn't need it, Ernie. He did not need it.
I don't need this either. We'll be back later.
We're coming at you from beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana, as the Pelicans prepare to take the court. Well, it was the New Orleans Pelicans in their last game losing to the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And the effort down the stretch, those final few minutes of regulation, you know, that's what they needed, but they were burnt out in the overtime.
Yeah, that's a good call, Greg. I mean, there was a little bit of a letdown for them in OT, and that can happen after you expend so much energy just to force the overtime.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Pierce out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Duncan in at the 5 down low. Here's the dude. Here's Anderson, drilled from 11 feet out.
And they are on the board first.
Trying to set the tone here early. I like that.
On defense, New Orleans. And this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and these teams pretty familiar with one another. They'll face off 4 times this year.
And, you know, Greg, both would love to get the upper hand early. This game, to me, is psychological as much as anything. I mean, a win here provides that edge you're looking for.
LaMarcus Aldridge, a polished mid-range shooter as well, and he's working on expanding his range out beyond the arc.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? Last season he made over 10 times more threes than the season before. He made them at an impressive clip, too. I think it's something he should keep as part of his package.
Pierce attacking, and he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play. So it'll be Paul Pierce shooting. That one's on Eric Gordon.
When you're talking about the greatest clutch players ever, that list needs to include Paul Pierce. I mean, he slowed down a bit, no doubt, but don't let that fool you. If you give him any kind of look at the end of the game, he'll cut your heart out.
Looking back at Paul Pierce's career, Clark, so many game winners, none more impressive than his jump over Dwayne Wade in the first round of the 2010 playoffs.
Yeah, you know, Shaq nicknamed him the Truth for a good reason. I mean, Pierce grew up in L.A. and reportedly dreamed of playing with the Lakers. Ironic that he instead became one of the Celtics' all-time greats.
So it's San Antonio now, following the score by New Orleans. Parker kicks to Duncan. The jump hook, and he overshot that one, missing. The Pelicans have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Dishes it to Anderson. Pass to Valanciunas. Here's the dude. Pierce covering. Here's Ingram, and he banks in the layup.
Well, I think this is the start they want. Come out and put some points up early. 3 of 4 so far.
White against Parker. Aldridge a screen. Parker outside. Park down low that time, and he got the 3-second bonus. Packing up the points down low, well, that's exactly what these guys have done this season. Check out the top-scoring big men in the NBA. Second, LaMarcus Aldridge.
That's as scary a collection of big men as you'd want to see. I mean, game planning for any of them is a challenge because you know how much defensive attention you're going to have to devote to them.
Yet, no matter how much attention they're getting, they're still going to get their points. I mean, opponents just have to keep fresh legs out there and try to limit the damage and make them work for whatever points they do get.
I still can't believe that one didn't fall.
Outside, White. Screened by Valanciunas. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Pelicans shooting their first free throw attempt on the night. And that drops, so they now lead by 1.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. But Popovich said last year he feels it might actually be the case.
Rejected by Pierce. And it was not a clean block. Whistle blows and a foul on the defender here. It's a shooting foul, so free throws will be coming up. You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
He hits both from the stripe. And what you have to like out of Valanciunas last season, improved efficiency. The game really, Clark, seemed to slow down for him.
Yeah, he entered the league a little green. I mean, would make a lot of mistakes, but had excellent tools. So with enthusiasm and hard work, you knew it was just a matter of time with him.
Now here's White, following the miss by Paul Pierce. White dishes to Gordon. Here's the dude. He had a 27-point outing in their last game against Oklahoma City.
And also 3 steals, so he showed some grit and determination on the defensive side. And for Valanciunas last year, his offensive production was similar to the year before, but he cut down on his turnovers. He also raised his shooting percentage to a career-high 57%, and that, my friends, is improved efficiency. I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Gordon against Pierce. Anderson a screen on Parker. White the pass to Anderson. Clock at 6. Here's the dude. Pierce covering. Nice work there coming off the screen. The dude's got 5 now.
You know, talking about Valanciunas, the light clearly went on last season. He was more assertive, refined his post game. The next step is to extend his shooting range so he can help space the floor on offense.
Now here's Pierce. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now he averages nearly 12 points a game. 3-pointer. Tries to save it, but he stays with it. Duncan kicks to Aldridge. The teardrop falls in. He has 7.
I like it. I like it. He broke out the fancy finish there.
Parker against White. Pass to Ingram. And there's the feed to Anderson. 5 on the clock. White drives in. Duncan with the block. But they get it back. And the Pelicans get it back. Anderson passes to Ingram. Valanciunas dishes to Gordon. They shoot again. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And the double clutch layup in that situation, that's just him playing to the crowd, guys.
Really unfortunate for Eric Gordon that an assortment of injuries have really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22 points a game score, was down to 13 a game last season.
Boris Diaz checked in for the Spurs. Yeah, on the topic of Eric Gordon, one would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference maker with any team. He just has to stay healthy. That really is the bottom line. He's got to keep his health.
Kevin, the truth is, though he's had a number of injuries, they've all been different. It isn't one chronic thing. So with a little good luck, we could see him shine once more.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Diaw. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Diaw's got his first bucket of the night. The Pelicans have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Kicks to Valanciunas. Fades. It's hauled in by Diaw.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Pierce wide open. He fires. And that misses. That would have put him up.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Aldridge wide open. He fires. No good with the triple.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
Anderson outside. Here's the dude. 5 points in the game. Shot clock at 5. Valanciunas in the high post. Sees the alley-oop. It's 2-on-1. And Parker with the basket on the assist by Pierce. Parker's got it all tied up now for the Spurs.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans.
Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Yeah, they needed the timeout here. Anything to try to get them to forget about the missed shots and get themselves back on track.
Big group substitution here for New Orleans. Omer, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Monroe comes in for Anderson. Hill, he's checked in for Gordon. And Michael Carter-Williams subbed in for White. San Antonio also making some changes. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Pierce. Ginobili comes in for Green. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Parker. Now here's Carter-Williams. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And how about the extraordinary display of his passing in that game? He was making all the right decisions and had their offense humming.
Spurs trail by 3. The dish now to Anderson. It's Ginobili on the wing. Aldridge a screen. And the pass to Nelson. Down low, Anderson, and it's blocked. Carter Williams kicks to Ashik. Carter Williams against Nelson, and he banks in the layup. Carter Williams has got 5.
And when he breaks out the crossover, you can be sure he's going to leave somebody in his way.
Aldridge against Monroe. Outside Aldridge. Nelson, right side. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Nelson's got his first 2 points of the night.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Now, here is Nelson, right now averaging about 5 points a game. Anderson dishes to Diaw. Pelicans with the rebound. Here's the dude. 5 points in the game. The drive by Monroe. Misses from short range.
Hey, I like creativity and a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
Diaw, the pass to Ginobili. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And Anderson kicks to Diaw. Unloads from 9. That is good. Diaw's got his second basket of the night.
And that's his go-to move right there in the low post.
Monroe, the pass to Ingram. And he goes big with the dunk right over LaMarcus Aldridge. It's not possible what we just caught. Is that possible?
Not probable, but it is possible, partner. It is possible.
And think about it, guys. That's one of the few guys in the entire league who can pull off something like that.
Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against the Denver Nuggets.
And they weren't anywhere near as sharp as they would like to be. But at the end of the day, a win's a win. And they've got to feel good about that.
Definitely. And when they look back on it, partner, in a few weeks, all they'll remember is the W.
San Antonio calls timeout.
You know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do.
Here's Aldridge. 29 points for him last game against Denver.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
5 to shoot. Here's Nelson. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Ingram passes to Hill. Screen by Ashik. Here's Carter Williams. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
Now, here's Diaw. 9 points last game out. 3 on 3. And Carter Williams with the slam.
And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Here's Anderson. The Pelicans make their last shot. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Inside, here's Hill. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And it's a 7-point Pelican lead.
and they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And the shot is good. Ginobili's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Pelicans leading by 4. Carter Williams dishes to Monroe. From the arc. The shot misses. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Nelson kicks to Diaw. Ginobili the pass to Aldridge. And there's a whistle. There's a foul. That's going to go on the dude. That's his first foul.
Checking in for your points, Alexis Hutchinson.
Pelicans on D. They lead by 4. Ginobili with the ball. 6 to shoot. Back to Diaw. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
The Spurs have shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game.
All right now, gentlemen. 2 shots. 2 shots.
And that one misses. And he sinks the second. At the end of 1, a closely contested game so far. Pelicans on top. They're up by 3. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And the ageless one, Tim Duncan, just a remarkable career. His teammate Tony Parker talked about playing alongside truly one of the all-time great players. It's both unbelievable and amazing, you'd have to agree, talking about Tim Duncan and how he, Greg, continues to stay near the top of his game.
You know, Kevin, they say nobody has ever defeated Father Time. But you know what? There have been a couple bigs that you'd have to see are the exceptions. Kareem being one, and then obviously now what Tim Duncan has been able to do over the course of his career. Just unbelievable.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Pelicans, what do you guys think?
A lot of times, the team that owns the paint is going to come away with the victory, and that's what they've done here thus far.
Yeah, why change the plan until they make you? And that's where they should continue to attack moving forward, going inside.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for San Antonio. Down low, it's the veterans Diaw and Duncan. Parker and Green are the guard pairing, and it's Pierce in at the 3 spot.
And when it comes to Michael Carter Williams, guys, I feel like people either love him or they don't buy him at all. I mean, he has the size, he's a good athlete, he plays hard, but he's also had some injuries, and he's been very inconsistent at times.
Now here's Carter Williams. Diaw missing his last shot. The kick out to Anderson. Breaks a big height bounce and goes in. Now it's a 5-point Pelican lead.
And I like how he draws the attention on the inside, and then the nice little kick out in rhythm for the jumper.
Well, going back to Michael Carter Williams, he is a polarizing prospect. For example, Greg, when you played the position, he gives you a lot of assists, but he also averages over 4 turnovers a game. That was just last year.
Yeah, that's true. And he gives you plenty of rebounds and steals as well. But sometimes the shot also, Kevin, not necessarily where you'd like it to be. At times he couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. This guy just really struggled. But the talent is there. It's just going to take some time for him to mature. And the jury's really still out on him.
So it's San Antonio now, and the Pelicans pick up 3 with their last shot. Green kicks to Diallo. Duncan down low, working out Ajinça. Out to Parker to end the run. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net. Pelicans leading by 6. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Gordon kicks to Carter Williams. Shot clock at 6. Ajinça in the post, covered by Duncan. Spurs trail by 6. Outside, Pierce. Parker outside. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And it's going to be a 3-second call. Now a chance to check out the top NBA block leaders. 5th is Tim Duncan.
There aren't going to be many nights when you don't see him affect the game with his shot blocking ability.
And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Here's Carter Williams, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Punches it down to pop.
Rubs it in. It looks like a little deeper with the hanging finish.
I tell you what, they're not backing off at all, are they?
Now here's Parker. A 26-point game for him in the win against Denver.
And you know, he was getting fouled time and time again and really delivered at the free throw line. Huge contribution there, guys.
And the rejection by Valanciunas.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Carter Williams dishes to Anderson. Outside Gordon. Clock at 6. Here's Ajinça. Here's Valanciunas. He dents the rim with a 2-handed slam. Wow.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Yeah, those putback jams sting, don't they, my goodness?
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
New Orleans making some changes here. Monroe comes in for Alexis Ajinça, and it's White in for Carter Williams. And San Antonio also making a switch. McCallum, he's checked in for Boris Diaw. Now here's Parker. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. Feeds it to McCallum. Three-pointer. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line. That one's on Eric Gordon. Last year, the Pelicans, Greg, pushed their way into the postseason. It was a neck-and-neck battle for that number 8 spot, as you recall, with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And how about the excitement down the stretch? They were able to edge out the Thunder and Russell Westbrook on that just point binge down the stretch there. And what a final day that was. A big, huge win over the Spurs. Let them get into the postseason for the first time under the Pelican moniker.
And the first one at the line is good.
And as you said, I mean, New Orleans made the playoffs for the first time under the name Pelicans. Unfortunately for them, they ran into the Warriors in the first round and were promptly swept away.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
And thinking back to the Pelicans playoffs from last year, let a 20-point lead slip away in that fourth quarter of Game 3. But they played better than a sweep and got valuable postseason experience for that young roster.
White the pass to Anderson from 12 feet out. They get it back. Kicks it out to Gordon. The 3-ball. The rebound by the Spurs. It's an 8-point differential. It's Parker with the drive. And the rejection by Monroe. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Pelicans.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And also, how about the fact defensively, they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career.
Now White following the three-point attempt by Tony Parker. Pass to Gordon. Out to White. There's the triple. Pelicans keep it alive. And off the front iron, and in it goes. And it's a 12-point New Orleans lead.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
Pierce with the screen on White. A floater. And that one's good. Parker's got 4 points now in the quarter.
You can't afford to give him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now here's Monroe looking for his first basket still in this one. Deep two from Anderson. Another shot. Duncan with the block. And now in transition is Parker. Here we go. He kicks to Duncan. Parker, a screen on Anderson. Dishes to McCallum. And it's White with the rebound.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
It's still early on in this new basketball season for San Antonio. And here's where they sit in the NBA rankings. 7th in blocks, 12th in three-point field goal percentage. And they're in the top half of the league in fewest turnovers. When you can be in that company, you're giving yourself a chance to be a winning team.
And going back to their block shots, they're fearless, challenging shooters and contesting everything. You end up on a few posters, but I love that willingness to take a stand defensively.
Now here's Ginobili. He feeds it to McCallum. Screen by Duncan. Ginobili outside. Offline with his three. New Orleans with the ball. They're on a 16-6 run. Outside, White. And it's Gordon penetrating. Here's Hushit. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
They've owned the offensive glass here in the second.
And making a point of getting in there and vying for missed shots.
Guys, you want to talk about one tough guy? How about the Turkish hammer, Ashik? Tremendous rebounder. A space eater in the paint, so long.
That's a great way to describe him, Kevin. Last year he finished 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. Plus he's always lurking as a shot blocker.
He is. He throw good, Ashik.
And, you know, going back to Ashik, I mean, he's not just a big, immobile guy. I mean, he's got really good flexibility, and that's helped him develop some post moves at the offensive end. He's no longer Mr. Dunk or nothing.
Now here is Aldridge. 7 points in the game. A nice shot by Anderson. And it's the Pelicans with the ball. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. White the pass to Ingram. Ginobili against Hill. Here's White. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
And going back to Amir Ashik's toughness, you can see it in his face. I mean, he's not going to smile at you. He's not going to show you any expression at all. Just a cold-blooded monster on the floor.
Passes to Ingram. White a screen. The feed to Hill. White against Nelson. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And they're able to recover. Here's Ingram. Off target from three-point range. Spurs trail by 8. Nelson kicks to Duncan. Anderson against Hill. Duncan with a screen on Hill. Ginobili gets a wide open look. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Ginobili's got 5.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Now here is Monroe. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Here's Ingram. And he can't stop the run as he misses.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Anderson dishes to Aldridge. Puts up the baby hook. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Ashik's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Ingram passes to White. Kicks to Monroe. Now Hill taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Monroe with a screen on Aldridge. White drives in. And again, no good by New Orleans.
Well, it seems like they're getting a little fat and sassy here, complacent in the second quarter.
Yeah, we've seen their free throw attempts stagnate, not getting much going on inside. They can't get too comfortable.
Now here's Anderson. 5 points in the game. Nelson. And you look at Jameer Nelson, played his first 10 years with Orlando. Then he got traded to the Celtics last season, then again to Denver. That had to be tough for a crafty veteran like him, a tough adjustment.
You know, you look at last year, one of his worst statistically, especially from a field goal percentage standpoint. I really agree with you. I think he was affected by all of the change of scenery and system. Let's look to see him have a bounce back this season.
Free throw drops for Nelson. Michael Carter-Williams checked in for New Orleans. And San Antonio also making a switch. Diaw's checked in. Both free throws good for Nelson. The San Antonio Spurs, a team that has had such a strong core and is so disciplined, Clark, it's hard to see them struggle, even think of them struggling, even on the road.
Well, you know, last season they did have trouble at times on the road, but 22-19, still not too bad.
And Anderson kicks to Nelson. He dishes it to Diaw. It's Ginobili on the wing. From outside the arc, Pelicans with the rebound.
And for the Spurs on the road, it wasn't the scoring. They were so good at home, but scored 8.5 points less per game on the road. That was the biggest margin in the NBA.
And here are the Pelicans now. Ginobili missing from long range. That is good. Ashik's got 5 points now this quarter.
The defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
1:04 left to play in the first half. Aldridge a screen. Here's Diaw. The second chance effort. It's good, and the New Orleans lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Aldridge.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
Here's the dude. He's got 7. 36 seconds left now here in the second. No good there off the double clutch.
Boy, it's been a long time since the Spurs had a losing record on the road, so there aren't any concerns for them. I mean, they've never had a losing road record since Tim Duncan was drafted. Wow, that's back to 1997.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Now, here is Nelson. Aldridge dishes to Ginobili. Three-pointer. Nelson got it off in time, but it's no good. And so that brings the first half to a close. Pelicans lead by 6. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Jameer, what needs to change for you guys in the second half?
Just got to value the ball. I mean, when we get shots, we get good shots, and we're probably shooting a high percentage, but when you turn the ball over so many times, you give the other team a lot of opportunities.
So stop biting yourselves in the foot, Jameer. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. A competitive matchup for New Orleans in the first quarter. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
Well, they forced their way to some easy buckets, aggressively going to the rack, imposing their will. I mean, taking it inside establishes an attitude and toughness that you can't get any other way.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
Well, they're shooting in the low 30s from downtown. That's not disastrous. That's terrible. But it's a big reason why they're not winning this game. They need to run harder off the picks, try to get more open looks, and then the shooters got to finish the job. Yak 'em.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. One guy who's been getting it done is Michael Carter-Williams.
That slasher mentality was on display in that first half. He got to the rim consistent.
Boy, I tell you what, he's got that great first step, and he must have had some quickness porridge or something because he looks a little faster today than normal.